Hello friends, welcome to my channel Sushant Spice. Today we are at the next topic, that is the endgame studies explained. We are at the 57th position of our topic. Today again we have got a case of rook versus pawns, and this time the pawns are superior to the rook. We can see that the black king is not that well placed and also the white pawns are bit advanced. There are two interesting variations in this. Let's get started with some calculation and ideas. The moves which are available to white are, one is g7, other is e7 check, and there is ed7 and also the move d6. After the move g7, we see that black can just do rook g8, and then after king f6 it's possible to take d into e6, d6 and king e8, and we will see that nothing will be achieved here. At the most the game will be drawn. After e7, rook g7, kg7, ke7, the game would be drawn. Another interesting idea to go e7 here in fact fails. After e7, ke7, d6 check, king just goes to f7 and the g7 pawn is taken. After the move d6, the rook is bit stuck and white is threatening e7 and also g7, but black has just d6, ke6 and simple rook g8. After the move king f7, rook g6, kg6, kd7 and d6 pawn is lost. Again the game is drawn. So from these analysis it's evident that the pawns are turning out to be somewhat superior, but the moves which we have discussed are not enabling white to convert the position. There comes rather some unusual idea here which makes white win the game. The move e7 check, which looks like we are giving up one of the pawns for just free. Okay, so e7, ke7, but the idea is that the white pawn and king, they are creating a barricade to the rook and we are trying to trap the black rook. So after e7, ke7, d6, if king goes to e8, then comes g7, and we see that the black rook suffers over there. Let's play the moves and see. e7, ke7, d6, ke8, and now comes g7, and suddenly we see that the rook is badly stuck. After the move rook g8, there is just king f6, and we see that black is in a zugzwang. After kd8, there will be king f7, rook g7, kg7, and the king and pawn endgame is lost. We will cover that endgame soon in more detail. After the move king f7 here, which looks like a good fighting variation, but g into f8, king f8, king f6, white gets the opposition, and after the move king e8, we see that king goes to g7, and then we push his king and take the d pawn for free. After gf8, king f8, kf6, ke8, kg7, kd8, kf7, kc8 and ke7, and white wins. So the best line for black is after e7, ke7, d6, the move kd8. So e7 check, ke7, d6 check, king d8, and now again g7. Black has now two ways to go about it in the position. One, he can go for the move rook g8, and other is the move rook e8 check. After rook e8 comes king f6, and now there is an interesting try. There is rook e6 check, king f7, rook into d6 and g8 queen check. When there are many cases in which rook and pawn can hold against the king and queen, but here there is a way to forcibly snatch the pawn on d7. White has the strong move qg3 pinning the rook, and after the king moves, we can force the king away with qc3 check, king b5, so that the queen doesn't go near, and here white can put black in a zugzwang and win the d7 pawn. After the very nice move king e8. The point is, we are forcing the rook to go to d5. There is no other place. d4, d3, d2 and d1, all of them lose the rook. After d1, queen b3 check and the rook is lost. And after rook d5, Now comes ke7 and we see that the pawn on d7 will be soon lost. After rook c5, qb3, king c6, queen a4 check and d7 is lost and then white will win easily. And the other main variation is rook g8. When after king f6, the black king can now try to go to c8 and try to hold the position. But after kc8, king f7, the rook has to move first. Rook g7, king g7 makes the king even better placed on g7. But we reach almost similar position. After rook d8, g8 queen, rook takes g8, king g8 and here comes kb7. And it is very interesting to note that white is able to win the game just because of his superior king placing. Here comes the move king f7 taking the opposition, and now we are going to use the concept of mind squares or the reciprocal zugzwang. After king c6, ke7 and the d7 pawn is lost. This I had covered in detail during the king and pawn endgames. And after the move kb6, white has the only move ke8. First attacking the pawn on d7, forcing black to go kc6 and now coming to e7, and the pawn on d7 is finally lost and white wins the game. All these endgames have got lot of references and relation with king and pawn endgames. I hope you are finding these lessons useful. Do like, share and subscribe the channel. Thanks for your time.